Welcome back to Ferocious Education. This is Zed. Today we are talking about LGHL, Line Financial Group, and uncovering everything we could do about this one. So let's jump right into this one. So LGHL, I got a good amount of recommendations and upvotes on this one on my Twitter account. So for this, we start going on towards their homepage. Now, they do mention first off that they do have some counterfeit websites or basically some imposters there that are trying to take on the name brand and sell you something else. And so there is so far 12, and apparently there's a bit more of that. But just a quick thing here is that they are putting themselves in here on the About Us page as more of a general platform. So they're a group of companies providing professional financial services. The group dedicates itself to connecting investors with global financial markets, providing brokerage, advisory service in securities, futures, derivatives, and insurance through properly licensed members in the relevant jurisdictions. Through the platform of Line Financial Group, one can go straight into the global financial markets and have access to various types of financial products. Compliance and strictly following regulations guidance are always among the most important priorities of the group. Line Financial Group entities seek to acquire more licenses around the world. At the moment, the group associates have acquired Type 1, 2, 4, 5, 9 licenses from the SEC commissions in Hong Kong. Full licenses of brokers and markets licensed from Cayman Islands Monetary Authority and the Cayman Islands. Insurance brokerage license from Professional Insurance Brokerage Association, BIPA, and etc. There will be more licenses to come on the way. And in order to get a bit of an understanding on what they do, let's take a look a little bit on the latest news. On the May 13th, 2021, they announced that they established an Lion NFT Limited, and so officially entering to the NFT field. And so right on here, Lion NFT is a digital asset company located in BVI, primarily focused investments and innovations in digital assets such as non-fungible tokens. Its parent company holds an MSB license through the US Treasury, yada yada. Lion NFT will offer full range of services to top artists around the world through NFTs, with plans to launch related work at well-known art festivals. Meanwhile, our technical team has made major breakthrough in reducing the building cost of NFTs, said Mr. Wang Chunnings, the CEO of Lion. Now, over the next few years, there will be a large number of use cases for NFTs, which will only be possible through encryption. In the time, we expect to see a boost in creativity and experimentation within the NFT field. Now, other than that, you do have a bit on April 19th, a news relating towards mining equipment and purchase agreements. And so for this one here, they had an agreement to acquire 5,000 brand new units of Bitmain anti-miners S9 Hydro in a single transaction. Now, under the current agreement, the ownership of the equipment will be transferred from the seller to the buyer for a total of around $2.6 million. The equipment is expected to contribute net of electricity cost $4.6 million in 2021 based on 90 PHs of hashing power generated. Now, keep in mind that this is basically closed back in May 2021 upon inspection acceptance of the payment. Now, after the transaction is completed, they will handle the operation utilizing the license held by Lion Fintech Group in Dubai. Now, this is based on April 19th. Now, a lot of things happened in Bitcoin since then. So, taking a look from April 19th, that is a bit more than a month ago. And so, currently, from April 19th to where it is currently right now, you're probably looking somewhere around 30% decline in Bitcoin in general. Now, you're looking back where it was somewhat in the 50s or lower 50s, kind of there, or higher 40s, and you're looking currently at 32,309 Bitcoin to USD dollars. Now, moving on forward a little, they did as well announce the completion of acquisition of Lion Fintech Group, so there's that as well as a SPAC, and other news that we can go backwards on it, but not really going to go forward back onto information that might have already played through. Now, I did try to see any of the institutional buyers that they do have, and I wasn't able to actually find any information on that. The price over book currently is 0.54, and the price over sale is 7.48. Now, in comparison, the SP 500 for both is around 3 to 4, and so in comparison, they are somewhat on par with what the market is. They average out, but in terms of sales, it's still a little bit higher than the market averages, and there's a reason for that, is that they are trying to go for Bitcoin mining, NFTs, etc. And if you were to look back at their previous revenues, looking into 2018, 2019, 2020, they went from 6.5 million to 18.5 million, down to 10.2. A big difference as CFD trading and other services that was really peaking on 2019 but wasn't existing in 2018, and dropped down almost by half in 2020. Now, the comprehensive loss slash income. In 2020, they actually operated their worst income in the last 3 years, even though they still did bring in CFD trading and other services revenue. In 2019, year over year, you're putting in a difference of almost $12 million or $11 million in losses. That's in comparison. So that's something difficult to bite in general. If you're looking into the total assets, they do have one of the biggest assets they do have current or previously held before. Looking at almost 23 million compared to $13.5 million in 2019. And in 2018, you're looking at 15.6 million comparison to $22.9 million. Now, total liabilities as well, they're holding the highest liability they ever held. Now, we have a good idea about who they are, what they do, etc. So let's move on towards technical analysis. If you would like to see more contents like this, make sure to click that like button down below. On the bottom right corner, you can click subscribe and the bell notification button on to help my channel a lot. If you'd like to join our Discord, you'll find it in the description below, totally free. Now, on a 1 month, 1 day perspective, you're looking at the 10 SMA being above the 30 EMA, which is a bullish thing. And that is where the trading action zone occurs. That's where most positive reversals actually occur, between the current value of 250 and 210. Now, in terms of the 50 SMA, it's above the 200 SMA. It actually does look quite bullish, but the price point is almost below all these moving averages, hence bearish. So you get to see a bit of bullish, a bit of bearish when it comes in towards technical analysis. Keep in mind, technical analysis is very much short term, trying to a little bit give an explanation towards the price action movements and momentums. Now, the ADX here does show that it did have a stronger negative momentum, but it's actually currently cooling down a little, which is a good thing. William %R shows it's closer towards the oversold part than overbought. You want it to be oversold in general when you're buying it, just because that means a correction hypothetically would push the momentum towards the overbought section. The MACD here is actually positive, yet we don't see much of a price action movement, which doesn't mean anything but stabilization, perhaps between a support and a resistance. We'll take a look at that in a second. Momentum is negative. Now, currently, stochastic fast and stochastic slow, they both are almost in a horizontal line, and so is the moving averages really. It's almost stabilizing. But you can expect this one to trade on the Bollinger Bands in the top, 285, and in the bottom, 178. Currently, you get to see that the unbalanced volume is also sometimes sitting still, and we can start taking a look into the Fibonacci retracements, starting up at 630 on the top and 180 at the bottom. What we see here is that there is significant resistance levels at 286, 352, 405, 458, 534, and 630. Significant support level is at 180. Now, from a price line action, you're seeing a very strong support sitting at 201. Below there, you're looking at 186, and below there, looking at 180. Now, significant resistances. A very strong one occurs at the 218, above there 251, then 284, going towards the 350, jumping up to 394, you're looking into 420 and 472, then finally towards around the 503, and then 540, and then 593. Comes to the question to Ed, what do you think about this one? Now, from a price over book perspective, you definitely see that they do have something there. Now, they're betting on Bitcoin and NFT and cryptocurrency, and if that bubble starts to pop, which I'm currently asking more of a survey on my Twitter account, whether this bubble is actually popping or not yet. And it really depends on there. They're really betting on Bitcoin and cryptocurrency to be the future and NFTs to be the future. Now, if that is the case, this one will prosper. If that is not the case, this one will suffer out of a negative price action on cryptocurrencies. What do you think about the sticker? Make sure to mention down in the comments below. Share, subscribe, and like, and have a wonderful day.
Now, if you made it this far into the video, I do recommend that you go ahead and join our Discord server. There's a lot of amazing folks in here. We do a lot of discussions here into the trading floor throughout the day. A lot of people are in there, and we do ask questions. You can ask me any question you would like on there. We do post research and DDs, and we hold weekly chat sessions. And we also do have a lounge in there. So make sure to actually join that and join the fun there. Have a wonderful day and a good one.